20 years after the Cold War came to an end, a legacy of mistrust still lingers over the Euro-Atlantic region.
Instead of trying to resolve problems together, we are blaming each other because we don't have one team thinking about common goals, about common threats, about common challenges, and trying to find common solutions.
We have such mistrust that is a residual effect of the Cold War that we're not able, as a Euro-Atlantic security community, being Europe, Russia, and the United States, to work together in a trusting way on a lot of external problems.
In 2009, the Euro-Atlantic Security Initiative, or EASY, was formed to leave this Cold War past behind and to build a more secure future.
EASY is an effort to finally come to grips with the need of Europeans, Russians, and Americans to get their act together, to work together. None of us has ever participated in an effort of this type, which is not just the West or Europe or the United States. And all the results can only be based on a consensus, including our Russian participants, our American participants, and our European participants.
The main thing is to demonstrate to politicians, to the public opinion, that all difficult problems, if we have dialogue, they can be resolved. That's why we started putting around the table former generals from different countries, politicians, diplomats, and in a quite short period they prepared very important, from my point of view, proposals with concrete steps.
When you look at the disputes on missile defense, when you look at the anxieties relating to tactical nuclear weapons, when you look at the continuing perception in Russia that we're going to have forces postured on their borders, they're still there. And one recommendation we're making, early warning and decision, so that there's more warning and decision time, and there's not the perception that any country in this Euro-Atlantic area is going to be subject to a quick attack. That means that people don't have to rely on nuclear weapons to basically be used at the early stages of any conflict. So warning and decision time is one of those areas. Another is missile defense. It's a game changer. If we can find ways to work with NATO and Russia on missile defense, it will make an enormous difference in a lot of other areas. But if we don't, it's going to be more or less back toward the future. And that's not where we want to go.
The so-called frozen conflicts in and around Europe remain to be resolved. They cannot be resolved without the active participation and cooperation of the Russian Federation, of the United States, and of major actors in Europe. That is now becoming even more urgent than in the past. As a German, I feel very strongly that reconciliation is a key ingredient of creating a normal relationship between peoples, nations, which have been at war. Reconciliation between Poland and Russia, for example. Important steps have been taken, but we're waiting for much more progress. And of course, there are continuing areas of conflict in Europe where reconciliation isn't even beginning. We need to try to resolve the conflicts, and then a process of reconciliation can start to begin, say, between Armenians and the people of Azerbaijan, to name just one example.
During the Cold War, nobody spoke about energy security.
the Arctic on energy, trying to find ways to make sure that we develop those resources in a cooperative way, respecting everyone's rights, not threatening the use of force in terms of those resources.
In Arctic, we feel that we have to avoid the previous mistakes. It's better to have Arctic as zone of cooperation, and it is possible on clear legal basis, respecting interests of each country who want to participate in the exploration of that region.
More and more we have common threats, and it's going to take all of us working together to address those threats. But it's got to begin, in my view, in the Euro-Atlantic security community.
If we start today, and it's necessary to start, maybe it will take some years, and 5 or 10, I don't know how many years. The main thing is to start the process.
Success would be, for me, a recommitment by the United States, the EU and NATO, and the Russian Federation and other countries like Ukraine to the program which we at EASY have developed. Overcoming mistrust, not by making Sunday morning speeches, but by working together on concrete projects, ballistic missile defense being one of them.
If we have such an open and sincere dialogue, I think that I don't see any problem which we cannot resolve. Together we can do it.